They can trick you, but you've got to save me. I take a bite of you, come play with me.
This advert is just one example of the many ways the media has the power to create the ideology of what is right and wrong when it comes to body image, especially concerning women, and was highly criticised for this. In contemporary society, there is a huge importance on body image and what you look like. Everywhere you look, there is a massive importance on outward beauty and what society deems the perfect body. This ideal is presented to us in many ways, for example, runway models or celebrities all over Instagram. This film will be examining the way the media contributes to this, looking at 3 different people's personal experiences and opinions on this issue to get a better understanding of it. Do you believe there's an unhealthy obsession with looking a certain way in today's society?
Yeah, I think that's definitely the case. For example, social media. Every platform of social media is full of size 0 models and of makeup adverts and people trying to make themselves look different to who they actually are. I think the media plays a huge part in body image, and it is constantly telling us that we should look like other people and we should be looking like something else, and it's not who we actually are. Weight loss and dieting are all over magazines, and adverts constantly make us think that thin is beautiful and that thin is normal, like the only normal. So if you're not thin, then you're not normal and you're not beautiful. And I think social media as well tells us that the most important thing about a woman is her body.
In your experience, what kind of effect do you think social media has on women in terms of body image and how they perceive themselves?
I think it's got a massive effect, really. I think you go on Pinterest, for example, and you look down and you see like all of these photos of women saying, learn to love yourself, and it's next to a picture of a woman with a 6-pack drinking green tea in her kitchen, and you just think, yeah, she probably does love herself. There's a lot of mixed messages you get from social media.
Yes. Do you think social media encourages you to compare yourself to these women? And if so, do you think this affects your self-esteem about yourself?
Yeah, I would say that it does. Whether it encourages it or whether that's just like a natural result of seeing endless pictures or like workout routines or, you know, healthy snack foods that you know you haven't eaten, you've just eaten a pizza. I think these things will naturally be like, oh, look what they're doing, look what I've just done. And I think it's like a natural, you will compare yourself. There's no way around that.
Yeah. Do you think that social media has created a specific definition of perfection that people have to try and achieve?
Yes and no. I think it like I said, it just confuses people. You've got people like Kim Kardashian who are beautiful and curvy in their own way, and there's people out there who want to be beautiful and curvy, and then there's pictures of like bodybuilding women who want to be strong, not skinny. So you think, yeah, I want to be strong, not skinny, and then you've got people who are just stick thin in like beautiful French Chanel adverts and stuff, and you're sitting there looking at them all and thinking, I don't know which one of these I'm supposed to look like, which of these is the ideal. You don't know.
Yeah. In your experience, what kind of effect do you think social media has on women in terms of body image and how they view themselves?
I think that it tries to share body positivity, but it also has like a set image for how women should look, and it can be quite hard for some women because they'll feel ugly. The most popular people all look a certain way, and the people that I like would all have some sort of body image and they all look similar, and so it puts you down quite a lot. It's quite easy for a lot of women to have unreal expectations for how they should look because a lot of things are edited and photoshopped.
Do you think there's any social media sites that are more harmful than others in doing this?
Probably Instagram, because it has a lot of people will have their jobs on Instagram, so they're sponsored to post certain things which might be not accurate to how they actually look. Yeah, I think that a lot of people my age do struggle with this because we use social media a lot and it causes us to feel constantly like we're not good enough, and we constantly compare ourselves to others who aren't the same as us, and we're told that there is a specific thing that makes you beautiful, and that's being thin and looking in a certain way, which isn't the case, and it has a huge effect on self-esteem.
This massive importance on beauty and body image begins from an early age, with society conditioning you to believe what you should aim to look like. There are many different ways in which this is done, which we may not even realise as it's so taken for granted and accepted in today's culture. As Kate Moss once famously said, nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. With messages like this being given to us by role models all over society, this firmly ingrains the belief into us, even from a very young age, that there is a very specific body image that we should be aiming to achieve.
I think that one big issue from a young age is Barbie, especially for young girls, because they're really impressionable, and Barbie is tall and thin, and she's giving an unrealistic expectation of what they're going to look like, and loads of young girls want to be Barbie when they're older, and this definitely could cause eating disorders. I also think that so many celebrities look a lot skinnier than is normal for their body type. Like if you look at pictures from the Oscars, so many of the older celebrities look really thin, and it doesn't actually look healthy. And another thing is that so many celebrities are making a massive deal out of their weight, and they're losing weight really quickly and not in a healthy way, and then they advertise it as a really good way to lose weight. So there's loads of like fitness DVDs and exercise DVDs that you can buy to help you lose weight in the same way that they did, but it's not necessarily the healthiest way to lose weight.
Another factor that teaches us the high standard that we have to try and live up to is through the addition of Photoshop, and the ability to alter and airbrush images allows women to be presented as being completely perfect and flawless. While this can be a useful thing for brands needing a perfect image to sell a product, for example, this can also be seen as just another unrealistic standard that women are being taught they have to try and live up to.
What's your opinion of digitally altered images of celebrities or models on social media, like Photoshop and things like that?
Yeah, and what's my opinion of it? I want to say it's really terrible. I want to say it's the worst thing ever, but I don't like anybody. You like to see something exactly right, and I think maybe that's why it's become something that's really like embedded in our culture. Is we like to see things looking perfect, but I know deep down it's wrong. It is really wrong, and it does set like this obscenely high standard that no one normal can reach. Yeah.
What's your opinion of digitally altered images of celebrities or models on social media, like Photoshop?
I think it's really wrong if people portray it as their true image, and if they're lying about having pictures being photoshopped, because that just gives the wrong idea to women.
What do you think about this being used in advertising? So if it's like a clothes website and it's trying to sell clothes, but the model's like airbrushed and really like perfect.
I don't think that's as bad, because they're trying to put the focus on the clothes, not on the model herself, but I think it still isn't the right thing to do.
Although this is a big issue for women which is getting more awareness raised in today's society, whether or not this affects men in the same way is an area which needs to have more research done in order to find out how this can also affect them. Stereotypically, male body image isn't thought of as such a big topic. However, it is important that this area gets more widely researched, as it is also a growing issue.
Do you think men are equally objectified on social media? Is there like the same pressure? Is it different?
I think it's different in that there are different standards of beauty for men and women, but I think there's less pressure for them to look as good as women have.
Do you think men are equally objectified on social media?
No, I don't. I think maybe that's just the way that because obviously you could train your social media to show you certain things, so maybe mine's trained because I'm a girl to just show me girl stuff, but it's just not this onslaught. Like, there aren't tons of magazines out there about men's fashion with photoshopped men on the front, so no, I don't think they're as targeted.
Despite the fact that there is a very huge pressure from society and social media to encourage you to look a certain way, it must also be recognised that even if it is gradual, progress is being made. In 2017, 1 out of the top 10 highest paid models was Ashley Graham, a plus-size model. While this is still too small of a statistic to be showing equality amongst all body types, and there still is a very strong idea of what is the norm, it does, however, show that change has the potential to be made.
If you could change the way women are portrayed in the media, how would you do this? And do you think it can realistically be done?
I think if I could, I would like to see women portrayed for what they've actually done rather than how they look. So, women who have achieved medical marvels or written something really amazing, or, just even when it's like athleticism, somehow it still seems to bring on this element of comparison. But if it was academia, I think maybe that would be better. Maybe not to take over athleticism, but just to be in the same kind of forefront of people's minds, then yeah, that would be better. I don't think it can be done now. I don't think people will find it as interesting. I'm saying it knowing I probably wouldn't read it, so.
If you could change the way women are portrayed in the media, how would you do this?
I think I wouldn't let people Photoshop pictures, because I think that's really wrong to use Facetune and stuff like that. And I think that people should just post pictures of themselves and how they feel comfortable.
And do you think this can realistically be achieved?
In the long run, yes, but I think it will take some time.
Yeah, I think that this can be changed, but more importantly, I think that it needs to be. Maybe, for example, you could have less Victoria's Secret models. Like, they shouldn't be the norm. There should be more plus-size models. Like, it shouldn't be such a surprise to see a plus-size model in a magazine. There is currently, I think, a lot of awareness about the issue, but a lot more needs to be done, and there's still a lot more that can be done.
The issue of the media and body image is something that needs more researching in order to truly understand the power that it can have in influencing the way that women view and compare themselves to others. Progress is being made surrounding the way that women are being portrayed in the media, with more body types being celebrated, which is a positive sign. However, it's vital that this continues to happen throughout the whole of society to encourage all women to love themselves and their bodies.